In a dystopian future in Detroit, Alex Murphy is transformed into RoboCop by a robotics company to combat crime. Hey guys, I'm Emily, and in today's Nerd Session, we'll be recapping the 2014 film RoboCop. But before we dive in, support the channel by subscribing and hitting that like button. Now without further ado, let's get into the video. We are in 2028, and for years, a multinational company called OmniCorp has been filling the US Army with its highly advanced drones, which maintain security worldwide using scanners to identify whether people pose threats or not. TV host Novak thinks it's a good idea for robots to replace the police in American cities as well. However, people are afraid of machines, and the government claims there is a law enforcement application preventing this. To prove his point, Novak brought a military leader to the show to explain the details of how each operation works. Additionally, they sent a reporter to the Middle East to showcase the robots' work live on TV. The reporter traverses the city, showing that the robots do not harm those who do not pose a threat, calling it a victory for security procedures. However, the local residents are clearly unhappy that their homes are being dominated by robots, and a group of rebels infiltrates with heavy weaponry, launching a terror-scale attack on the robots. This results in a violent battle that disrupts the streets, with buildings being destroyed by robots and flying drones firing whenever they perceive a threat. Many of these rebels jump from rooftops to destroy the robots, causing a widespread explosion in the area. The robots identify a scared boy with a knife in hand, considering the knife a threat and attacking immediately. Novak does not allow this to change his opinion and informs the viewers that the robot did not do something good, but merely fulfilled its function to keep the city safe. Now we switch to Detroit, in a police station, where we meet Detective Alex. He demands explanations from his boss about the incident caused by his corrupt colleagues. Alex recounts the story of an undercover operation where he met with criminals to expose illegal weapons from a dealer. After the dealer's arrest, the weapons disappeared from the evidence locker, indicating the action of a corrupt cop. Alex and his partner, in a subsequent operation, were targeted in a gang attack after being discovered as police officers. In the midst of a shootout, his friend was shot, and Alex managed to escape. He shared this story with his boss, who scolded him for going out without support and promised to take care of the corrupt cop involved. And meanwhile, in Washington, D.C., OmniCorp CEO Raymond Sellers tries to convince the government that robot police officers are a good idea, but the senators reject him once again. At the OmniCorp headquarters, Sellers holds a meeting with a team to discuss ideas on how they can make the public accept robots on the streets. As the senators keep insisting that robots won't be accepted, he comes to the conclusion that they need to merge a real human with a machine. He seeks out Dr. Norton, who is assisting his latest patient in adapting to new robotic hands. Norton is an expert in robotic prosthetics that operate based on the user's emotions, and the patient must learn to focus to be able to play the guitar. Sellers arrives at the clinic, catches Norton's attention, and talks to him privately, convincing him to design a human-machine hybrid. Norton meets with Sellers' team to discuss their options, but all retired cops have old wounds and are emotionally traumatized to return to work. They need to look for a more recent case. And in another part of the city, corrupt cops warn the gang leader that the police department is after him, all because of Alex. So, the order is to get rid of this investigation, which means killing Alex. Later, while Alex visits his friend in the hospital, a criminal places a bomb under his car. At night, returning home and spending time with his son and wife, Clara, Alex hears his car alarm go off and checks it. As he approaches the vehicle, the car explodes, leaving him severely injured. OmniCorp learns about the case quickly and invites Clara to their offices to make an offer. They offer Alex a completely new mechanical body so that he can continue living. Clara hesitates, but they provide details about Alex's injuries. And if he doesn't accept the program, he won't survive, leaving Clara with no choice but to accept. 3 months later, Alex is seen finally dancing with his wife at a home party. However, these images start to crumble when scientists reveal Alex's new form, composed of 90% mechanical parts, but the brain is still human, so he still has memories. Upon waking him up, Alex is confused, and Norton quickly reminds him of what happened and guides him through the first steps. However, the robotic body feels strange to him, and he doesn't know if it's real or not. Upon hearing the word amputation, he freaks out, demanding the removal of the suit, and in an attempt to calm him down, Norton is pushed away. Alex escapes from the laboratory, effortlessly overcoming obstacles, surprising with a super jump and incredible speed. Norton decides to shut him down remotely when he starts running through a field, and later, Alex wakes up in the laboratory. Norton shows Alex that there are few organic parts of his body remaining and claims that this was the only way to keep him alive. However, Alex would prefer to be shut down or killed than become a machine. However, Norton changes his mind by explaining that Clara requested the procedure, and the family is waiting for him. To prove it, Alex calls Clara, showing only his face, and Clara still finds him extremely attractive and can't wait to see him. But Alex still has to stay in the laboratory, and reluctantly agreeing to cooperate, he spends the night there for maintenance. The next day, he trains with Rick, in charge of OmniCorp's robotic army. Rick considers the inclusion of humans in the project unnecessary but provides weapons to Alex, believing he won't handle the job. He then undergoes a simulation with the robot, where they must save civilians and kill criminals. However, Alex is slower than the robot, as he assesses before acting, making the artificial intelligence slow and ineffective. At night, Alex uses the computer to track the gang leader who tried to kill him. Sellers is disappointed with the simulation results and angrily orders Norton to fix the problem. In the laboratory, the doctor then opens Alex's head and makes some modifications to his brain, making him think he still has free will, but in reality, it is artificial intelligence that will be in control. Sellers tells his marketing employee that Alex needs to look better on screen and on TV and will have a better tactical suit. Alex undergoes a complete transformation, gaining a black carbon armor, and they take him to an abandoned building for a new test. This time, he must face Rick and his army of robots alone. Alex activates his scanner visor and analyzes the entire area, then quickly assesses the situation and takes rapid action, shooting each robot without hesitation. He is also quick to find cover and hide when attacked. One by one, all the robots fall very quickly, and in the end, only Rick remains standing. Alex shoots at his suit, causing him to fall into shock, and wins the battle. And even though he is not Alex but a machine, they consider the experiment a success. Norton then takes Alex home to finally see his family, and he is quite nervous, but as soon as he sees Clara, they hug each other with longing. David is still scared, says he's happy to see him, and recorded some games for them to watch together. However, Alex cannot stay as he needs maintenance. When he leaves, he meets his best friend who has finally recovered, and Alex promises to catch and hunt down the corrupt criminals who attacked him. 2 days later, Sellers is eager to introduce Alex to the citizens at a large public event. Norton begins transferring all criminal files since 2011, and Alex also gains access to all city surveillance cameras. But the information is overwhelming, and upon seeing the recording of the explosion of his own car, Alex has a seizure and faints. Norton doesn't think there should be a press conference that day, but the OmniCorp team forces him to solve the problem. And with no choice, Norton suppresses Alex's emotions, making him act like a true robot. Now they can complete the total download of the database without any issues, and during the presentation, Alex focuses on duty, ignoring family and friends, viewing everyone as either criminals or civilians. On stage, his scanner identifies a criminal in the crowd. He issues an arrest order, jumps, shoots the suspect, and captures him without hurting anyone else, earning admiration from the entire watching population. On TV, Novak uses the incident to prove the effectiveness of RoboCop compared to regular police officers. Clara is upset, unable to communicate with Alex, but Norton reassures her, saying it's a side effect of the medication and he will return to normal soon. The next day, Alex returns to the police station, promising to capture 13 criminals in a row, ignoring the work of other officers, even that of his best friend. He leaves on a motorcycle, locates a drug dealer through the database, and gathers information on larger traffickers. Upon reaching the warehouse, most are armed, and Alex takes them down one by one, with the main trafficker dying after Alex explodes him along with a grenade. At OmniCorp, they are pleased with the results and congratulate the doctor, and Sellers grants Rick full access to monitor Alex as a precaution. Over time, Alex becomes a hero, preventing crimes in the city of Detroit, and Novak highlights this on TV, even intimidating a senator lived to pass the RoboCop law. While corrupt police plan to deal with Alex in his super robot form, Clara finds Alex on the street and asks him to show emotions and take care of their son, who is having nightmares at night. Alex apparently doesn't show emotions, but as he walks away, using his robotic police nature, He investigates the cameras and discovers that his son David is going through trauma. This shakes Alex's conscience, who gradually undoes Norton's emotional suppression and decides to rectify the situation. In the laboratory, they notice the change in Alex's tracker and consider shutting him down, but Norton chooses to observe, as Alex is technically solving a crime. Alex returns home, recreates the day of the attack with information from the cameras, and reviews the explosion that traumatized his wife and son. Following leads, he confronts an associate and gang leader, forcing a confession by breaking his hand, and obtains the driver's number from the leader. Triangulating the signal from the last call, he locates the gang, and as he approaches the police station, he discovers that he is trying to solve his own case, alerting the gang leader. Upon arrival, he faces criminals with night vision and heavy weaponry, resembling a video game. But even when hit by high-caliber shots, he easily eliminates everyone, restores power, collects fingerprint samples, and exposes the corrupt police officers. He interrogates two at the station and presents irrefutable evidence to everyone there. Alex defends himself against a corrupt cop, and the second confesses that it was the boss who orchestrated everything, and Alex shoots him. Confronting his boss, showing the police corruption, Rick deactivates him and informs the CEO of the company that the situation is a bit delicate. Novak highlights on his show that this scandal only shows that machines are immune to corruption. The next day, the government begins voting in favor of using robots in the police, and Clara interrupts the broadcast to say that OmniCorp is preventing her from seeing her husband and that they are hiding the truth about RoboCop. Sellers, concerned about Clara's involvement, fears losing control over Alex, which would ruin the law in Congress. Instead of retiring him as a cop, they decide to kill Alex to turn him into a hero. Sellers convinces Norton to perform the act, offering funding for 10 years. And Norton agrees if Sellers compensates Alex's family with millions. Sellers instructs to prepare the attack while the law is passed and gives the order to kill RoboCop. He arrives at the laboratory with two soldiers wanting to see Alex, but upon activating the protocol, Norton makes Sellers believe that Alex is dead, when in reality he only removes RoboCop's transmitter, preventing them from turning off Alex again. He shoots the soldiers. Meanwhile, Sellers tells Clara that her husband is dead after an outbreak in a confrontation in the laboratory. However, Norton reveals Sellers' plan, showing that he removed the transmitter, and an enraged Alex decides to kill Sellers, even as the doctor tries to stop him. Rick warns Sellers about Alex, who is about to be announced as dead but prefers to escape by helicopter, and is taken to the rooftop of the building, asking them to bring Clara and her son to him. Meanwhile, Norton seeks help from a police friend of Alex. He joins a convoy with other police officers to assist RoboCop. However, upon reaching the OmniCorp headquarters, RoboCop bypasses security and faces the company's defense robots. He is more agile than them, causing the robots to self-destruct by shooting at each other. However, he faces difficulties due to the sturdy armor, and one of the robots traps his arm when it falls. After freeing himself from his own arm, Alex is hit by heavy bullets from the defense robots, almost being killed. But the police friend's convoy arrives and positions itself in front, and as they are unarmed, this allows Alex to escape. In the showdown against Rick inside the company, Alex encounters difficulties as he has been reprogrammed not to shoot him. But Alex's friend saves him at the last moment, even getting shot. Later, Alex goes to the rooftop, where the helicopter escapes, and Sellers threatens to kill his son and wife if RoboCop doesn't cooperate. Despite the programming that prevented Alex from acting, his love for his family leads him to override this restriction, allowing him to kill Sellers but also leaving him severely injured. Nevertheless, he is alive. And Norton returns RoboCop's prototype body to Alex, allowing him to spend more time with his family. The media reports the government reconsidering the presence of robots on the streets, canceling the RoboCop law, and this happens because Norton admitted his mistake live. Novak on TV mentions that RoboCop is alive, although he reacts strongly to the government statements and the fact that Norton does not admit that the robots were better than the police. However, he recalls the greatness of the United States and asserts that one day they will win this battle. Thus concludes the 2014 science fiction and action remake RoboCop. Tell us in the comments what you thought of the film, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. This was Nerd Session, and I'll see you in the next video.